Hi, I'm Devrata, and this is my talk on chaos engineering for beginners, contribution to ChaosMesh as an LFX mentee. So about me, I'm presently a junior undergraduate majoring in biomedical engineering in the Department of Biotechnology and Medical Engineering at National Institute of Technology, Rourkela. Over the years, I have developed keen interest in open source and have been quite passionate about cloud native technologies. And recently, I happen to be a part of LFX Mentorship program, which we will talk in few minutes. Also, you could connect with me on my Twitter and LinkedIn. Also, you could find about my project and mentorship in the Linux Foundation portal, which we will discuss in later slides. So yeah, today we will discuss about what does this LFX mentorship program, how does the selection process goes on, and what to expect after getting selected, and what was my experience as a mentee, and also I'll ponder upon few of the misconceptions that people have on LFX mentorship program. So starting with LFX Mentorship Program is a 12-week full-time mentorship program developed by the Linux Foundation. It is designed to help developers with necessary skills to experiment, learn, and contribute effectively to open source community. Program is actively used by Cloud Native Computing Foundation as a mentorship platform across the CNCF projects. I happen to be a mentee under ChaosMesh Enriching AWS Chaos project, which was proposed by ChaosMesh, a CNCF sandbox project. There are many projects like this which are proposed by various orgs, like there are kernel Linux kernel mentorship, there are Hyperledger mentorship, and so on, and various CNCF projects that are present apply for this program, and they select mentee every cohort. It happens. Basically, it happens for 3 cohort. Last year it was, I think. So basically, you get to know about this program from the LFX portal. Also, there are various blogs that is released at this point of time to make you aware about that the application has been opened. Like for me, when I was part of this program for the spring cohort, the applications were open in the month of February. Until mid-February, we applied. So yeah, let's talk about the selection process, how I applied. So as I said about when I applied in spring, it was till mid-February, the portal was open and I could apply to projects. And as soon as I applied, I was assigned with 2 tasks. The basic task is to submit your CV and cover letter. And after the date or the application portal closed, I was asked to submit another task. This mail that is in this picture came over to me from a mentor asking me to solve a question, a DS related question, and submit it through a GitHub repository, and I did the same. Also, the task is in my GitHub repository. You could have a look also. And after a few days of submitting, first of all, I got this mail towards the end of February from my mentor, which said that I am selected for the program, and would me be accepting the offer. So yeah, I accepted the offer, and then around March first week, I received this formal letter from LFX that I have been selected under this mentorship, and the program mentors will connect me for the other steps. So basically, my mentorship topic was ChaosMesh, enriching AWS Chaos. My mentor was Zhao Zikang, who happens to be a maintainer at ChaosMesh. And what is ChaosMesh? So ChaosMesh is a chaos engineering tool which helps you to inject chaos testing. Also, like it helps. It's a Kubernetes based chaos engineering platform. So you get to inject the chaos into the pods or containers and test the resiliency of your system. So that is how ChaosMesh works, and there are various chaos that is available under this ChaosMesh thing, like there is HTTPS chaos, there's stress chaos, and there are a lot of things. There is something called AWS chaos, and as a mentee, my work was to contribute more features or add more features to AWS chaos. So yeah, how was my first week all about? So basically, as I introduced myself, I am from a department that is not related to software engineering. I am a self-taught programmer, and before starting with this mentorship program, I happened to be well versed in Python and C++. But until I started, there was a requirement of Golang in this program. Also, AWS and Kubernetes was must to know to work on this particular repository. So yeah, since I was quite new to all those things, my mentor suggested me some online resources on Golang and Kubernetes. He provided me with those links, and also I remember one of the books he provided me was Kubernetes in Accents. I went through that, and it has a very very illustrated explanation about the infrastructure of Kubernetes, how these controllers work, what are CRDs, what are pods, and all those things. And also, as I was a beginner to such kind of environment like large scale projects, initially my mentor asked me to solve some good first issues, which just require few modifications in the code, like just switching on a few lines and all those things. So why that? Because you have to be acquainted with how to contribute, how to you have to go through the contributor guidelines, you have to follow a particular procedure to contribute, as they are large projects and they have a CI/CD pipeline in place, and to align your work with all those things and push it to upstream, it's a challenging task for a beginner like me. So when I started, I obviously had some problems. I used to fail in DCO certification. Then I knew about like something called the rest, that I have to sign up from my like email ID of GitHub, and then only it passes the DCO certification and other tests begin to start. So yeah, that was something challenging for me to begin with, and yeah, obviously with this a few of the good first issues, I got acquainted with all those things, and now like I could very seamlessly keep my local repo updated with the upstream, and also contribute quite frequently, and whenever it's quite easy for me now. So after I solved a few of the good first issues and tried to add some features, like good features, then we started with AWS Chaos. It was around 1.5 months till now, and there were again another 1.5 months remaining in my mentorship. So initially I won't go through in depth to what I did, but I will give you an overall idea about what I did. So AWS Chaos supposedly is something it is used to implement chaos to AWS EC2 instances, and like there are very a few features that were added earlier, and now what we try to do is we try to integrate this AWS system chaos runner functionality to this AWS chaos, so that this AWS system chaos runner is basically something that has already been built by AWS, and it has a lot of chaos features to offer, and we wanted to integrate it with our observational tools or the dashboard we have, so that we just have to write one controller for the whole thing, and we get in much features of AWS chaos. So yeah, we started with that. We did it. We had to do two parts of it, and then successfully we completed it also, and it came out to be an amazing integration to ChaosMesh. Yeah, so after all this things, hassle and lot of learning and all those things, I finally graduated. And as I said, I'm just a newbie to all these things. I learned about container technology. I learned all those things. So my graduation is just a stepping stone for my contribution into the CNCF projects, or Chaos Mesh, and I will be now a more regular contributor to all these projects, and I am quite interested in all these things now, now I am able to understand the code base. I am able to understand the tech stack that is present in this chaos mess and all those things. So yeah, so how do you get started if you want to be an LFX mentee like me? How do you get started? What are the workflow you need to follow? So yeah, basically we have an amazing documentation by Linux Foundation, and I'll provide you the link. Supposedly this workflow has also been taken from that docs. So yeah, you have to go to the eligibility rules. Those are pretty straightforward, and then create a community profile in the CNCF platform. Also submit an application, and by application I mean you have to just submit with your CV and cover letter, and then if approved, you work on task, work with the mentors, and also graduate and explore more opportunities in that particular domain. If you are rejected for one cohort, so there is no issue in that. You could keep on contributing, as this program happens 3 times a year, and you will get a chance at any cohort you like. So obviously where to find this information? Yeah, as I was talking about, there's the docs provided by Linux Foundation, which has great information available on this whole program. You have the program schedule, you have the timelines, you could view about the mentorship program details, how to create a profile, how to toggle between mentorship and all those things. Also you could view the status of your application, manage your tasks, and a lot of things. There is a lot of information that is available, and since CNCF is a pretty great landscape, which might be intimidating to beginners like me. Yes, I was also intimidated when I started, and now also I'm intimidated to all the projects. I don't have any idea on all the projects that is present in the CNCF portfolio or the CNCF landscape, but yeah, a few of the projects which I work upon or which I use I have idea on them. So yeah, it's very natural for you as a beginner to get stumbled upon all those things and find it difficult to understand what is there and what is not there. But yeah, one thing is very positive about this CNCF project is they have a very good documentation. They maintain good contributor guidelines, developer documentation, and all those things. You could go through them, and you could ask your doubts on the CNCF Slack. Like every project has its own channel in the CNCF Slack that I've given, so you could join the Slack channel. You could ask questions on that particular projects. Also, how to select, whenever there is a mentorship application that opens up, there are a lot of projects that come up for one cohort. So I suggest you guys, you go read the description, whichever project you find interesting, go to that GitHub repository, try to join the Slack channel. And there is, this developer guidelines where the initial setup, the guideline about initial setup is there, and you could go through that. You could try playing around with that, and if you stumble upon somewhere, obviously you will stumble upon the lot. These are very complex projects. Then there are maintainers and contributors in this Slack channels. Those are ready to help you. We are a very welcoming community. We want contributors, like young contributors, students, to join us and continue with this CNCF projects. Also, there are a lot of benefits. You get to learn about this container technologies like Kubernetes, which is going to be a default thing in a few years in this tech industry. Also, there are a lot of projects to cater everyone's interest. It's not about like I worked on chaos engineering, that's it. No, there are a lot of projects like Jagger, there's something called Hyperledger, the Linux kernel, and there are various code base code requirements. Some require C++, some require Python, some require Golang. So yeah, it has to cater for everyone's interest, and you could go on and explore the thing. So now let's address few of the misconceptions I usually get from participants, or I got a lot of message from the aspirants, about the CNCF mentorship thing. Like a lot of them were that came with this initially. So yeah, how to choose, how to select the projects. I am not able to get it. What to write in the cover letter? See, as the name suggests, it's a mentorship program. It's like you come, you learn, you implement. So that's how the thing works. So it's absolutely a beginner friendly program. You don't have to worry about like you don't know something. Obviously you won't be knowing about cloud native technologies if you haven't used it earlier, but there is nothing wrong in it. It's a beginner friendly program. You have to go through the docs. There are well maintained docs. Go through that, start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, start playing around with it, get acquainted with it, talking to the maintainers of the repository, message them in the Slack channels, and you will get an apt reply. Also, for any mentorship related queries, any technical queries you are having, do message or do mention it in the mentoring channel of the in the CNCF Slack. There are people ready to help you at any point of time. Also, I could suggest one more thing. Don't panic about how to write the cover letter, whether I should mention about the proposal or not. Yeah, it's good to mention if you know anything about how to go on with that project, or how to complete that project in 2-3 months. But if you don't have any clear idea or clear description, then it's absolutely fine. We try to, these mentorship programs are for curious people who are who are ready to contribute, or who are willing to be a part of this community even after the mentorship program is over. So we want to have a long-term members, or contributors who could help in maintaining the projects. And a lot of projects that require a lot of people in the CNCF landscape, and these kind of programs are just a stepping stone for anyone in the tech industry. Any beginner is welcome to this kind of program. And yeah, absolutely, you don't have to worry about if you would fit in or not. If you only know few languages, like previously when I started, I didn't have any idea about Golang, neither about Kubernetes. I was basically a Python developer, and even the task I was asked, I submitted it using C++. And yeah, I was selected. Okay, so I had to learn Golang. I had to write my own controllers, custom controllers. Like few months back, I was not even able to understand what is a chaos daemon, what is all those things. But yeah, at the end of the 12 weeks, I could say now, like, I'm a little bit confident about my knowledge in distributed file system, or be it Kubernetes, or any container services. So yeah, now, and it was a fun ride, break things using chaos engineering and all those things. So yeah, just come up, just join join this program, try to explore, try to play around with these things. Those are very interesting projects like Prometheus, Grafana, and all those things. So I suggest you to come up and join this, join this LFX mentorship program. Try to learn as much as you can and contribute to this. We look forward to a lot of having a lot of contributors and students in this particular program. So thank you. Any other no doubts or any other things you want to ask to me, you could ping me on Twitter about it.